Ciao e benvenuto. Hello and welcome from Italy and inside the Milano Santa Giulia Arena para ice hockey at the Paralympic Winter Games. Rob Snook gearing up to call this Pool B match between European neighbors Czechia and Slovakia. Czechs were denied a medal at the last Paralympic Winter Games in Beijing 4 years ago, but since then, 3 straight bronze medals at the World Championships, on the hunt for hardware in Milano Cortina 2026, and seemingly legitimate contenders. Slovakia had to go the long way to qualify for this tournament, but they did in their last chance opportunity. Rough start to this tournament though. An undermanned Slovakia roster with just 8 skaters lost 8-0 against Canada. Can they bounce back today against a team they know very well? It has all the makings of a hard-fought game, maybe one with a lot of emotion. Last year, these two teams met at the World Championships. The Czechs won it going away, 6-1 the final then. The Slovakia have another story to tell today. We'll find out soon enough. Referees in today's game, Patrick Myers from Canada. The lines, Marius Hermansson Oswald from Norway, Andreas Lunden from Sweden. The captains, you saw them there, Radek Zelinka. For Czechia, Martin Jopa, who played the entire game for Slovakia in their opener in the tournament. Czech fans have arrived in large numbers to cheer on their team. Interestingly enough, a lot of them are behind the Slovak bench. A lot of Slovak fans on hand as well. There's your starting lines. Czechia can come at you 3 lines deep. Zizlavsky and Hobble are brilliant when it comes to face-offs. Vesely will help coordinate that first line. Geyer, the second line, leading scorer for them in most tournaments, including the last Paralympic Winter Games in Beijing 4 years ago. They're strong on the blue line too. 4 defensemen who can all defend and move the puck well for head coach Jakub Novotny. His assistant is Yuri Briza. They have come to Italy to stand on the podium. 3 straight appearances on the podium at the last 3 World Championships for this Czech team. And a very thin roster on the other side in the opening game, but the good news is a little bit of help. They actually have 2 full lines listed today with the addition of Miroslav Stashek, one of the alternate captains, the 40-year-old who is back in the lineup. He has been battling some kind of an injury. We don't know the extent of it, but playing with 3 defensemen. Expect Halinka, Ferencik, and Večerek to get all kinds of ice time. I expect Jopa, the captain at center, to get all kinds of ice time. As we mentioned, he played the entire game for head coach Steven Ritsko in the opener. But this game could be a brand new script for Slovakia. They have a chance to rewrite it. It was a tough one in their opener. Czechia was challenged as well in its opener. Fell behind twice against Japan, but rallied to win by a score of 3-2 in regulation to earn the full 3 points. A little bit of a scare, but survived. They have switched the goaltenders though. Martin Krudela, the 28-year-old in his 3rd Paralympic Winter Games, gets the start in the Czech net. Jopa, he's had about 48 hours or so to try to recuperate from a huge test in the opener. And here we go. It is Czechia in the red jerseys, Slovakia in the white with the blue shoulders, and we are underway. These teams met at the World Championships last year. Czechs won it. Slovaks on their heels a bit early on. Zizlavsky sends one up high. It bounces. It's going to be sent to the middle, and Ligda made the pass. Here's a chance. Jopa, he just sends it wide with the left hand. And the captain, nice little move there, and the twist by Zelinka. And Czechs all come back, and here they come. It's going to be a one-on-one. busting down is Hetsko, cuts to the middle, he's got room, stick handles, oh, what a save! What a massive save by Lepacek with the right glove hand, absolutely robbing Hetsko. Czechs keep the pressure on though. They're gonna try to keep sending shots at net. Czechia was second best in scoring efficiency last year at the World Championships, behind only the Americans. Here's a steal by Corman. He'll send it across for Jopa. It's onside, snaps a shot, caught by Kudela, and he's gonna hold on. Nice start, both teams, shots on net, both goaltenders strong with the glove hand. Here's that chance for Jopa. He got a lot on it, but Kudela waiting, poised, had the glove all up already. All he had to do is direct it and put it right in the glove. For years, the pucks, by the way, have been made in Czechia. Vulcanized rubber, the world leader in pucks. And Kudela, that one probably shouldn't count as a shot on goal. It was heading wide, but we'll see if it does. But you know what? The goaltender loves that anyway. Put the puck in my glove, let me catch it, give me some confidence. Havel's going to take the face-off. Second best in the tournament so far in face-offs at 77%. The only one who's better is his teammate Zizlavsky. So the Czechs dynamite in that category. They do eventually gain possession here. Nice little move by Ohar, the 22-year-old, pushes it ahead, and here comes Geyer busting in. Michael Geyer couldn't send it to the middle for Kubas. And Jopa's gonna gather it in, and he'll wire it around the boards. I don't think it has enough to get out, or does it? No, good play by the Czechs to keep it alive. Kapko scored a huge goal in the opener. He's playing on the blue line. Here's a chance. They come again, Czechia. Zizlavsky, that went off the side of the net. And Czechia is going to bust it out to center. Czechs were changing there, just about got caught. Here's Jopa, gathers in the loose puck inside his own blue line. MVP of the Paralympic qualifying tournament last November, led the tournament in scoring. Almost overskated there by Zelinka. He's the captain of Team Czechia. He scored the game winner in overtime for the Czechs last year at the World Championships to win the bronze medal over China. That was incredible. Here they come again. Nice play by Corman to get a stick on it, but Zelinka's got room, and his shot is blocked. It's Jopa who gets in the way of it. Nice little pass there by Turic. And Corman slammed into the boards by Zizlavsky. Vesely now swings it all the way on the other side. Here come the Czechs, but it's 1-on-5. And so just dumping it in was Hetsko. And Slovakia still scoreless. Not quite 3.5 minutes into the opening period. Here's Habo, lost a stick in the battle. Zelinka dumps it into the corner deep. That might allow Habo to get his stick. Vesely flips it back in behind for Hetsko. Vesely brings it out front, and he tried to snap it in with the left stick. Here's Jopa. He's slammed into by Hetsko. Czechs coming again. That was under the sled of Hetsko. He didn't see it. It'll be kept in at the blue line by Kapko. And now Havel gets on his horse, and he picks up the puck, slides it in the middle for Geyer. And he lost the handle. And Slovakia is going to relieve the pressure and send it down the ice. Icing call. 4:06 gone by here in the opening period. The Czechs out shooting Slovakia 4-2, but nobody has been able to beat the top quality goaltenders on either side just yet. Both teams technically returning 10 players from the team that played in Slovakia, in Beijing 4 years ago. But Slovakia, even though they have a certain number of players signed, have not had all those players dressed, and we don't even think they are in town. Here is Czechia. Geyer takes a bit of time, stick handles, nice patience by Geyer, sends a left stick shot off the side of the net. Ohar gathers it in, His pass is intercepted by Jopa, and the Slovak captain's going to send it ahead. That'll go down the ice, might go for icing, and it will, in fact, go all the way down as Capko goes back to get it. Lucas Capko, game-winning goal against Japan in the opener of the tournament for Czechia. Czechs rolling 2 lines so far. It looks like Slovakia is trying to do so as well. Although, even though he is in the lineup, I'm not sure if we have seen Stashek yet. He'll wear the number 7 in the Slovak jersey. We might save him for certain situations. Here's Zizlavsky. Good job by Vesely to keep it in. He's got room. He scores! Beauty left stick goal by Vesely. And the Czechs have opened up the scoring. Maybe realizing that the glove is so good on Lepacek. Don't challenge him high with the glove. Go low to the corner, and that's what he does. Vesely, nice little move, right stick to left, and before Lepacek can do anything, he's sliding over, and Vesely snaps it in. That is his first goal of the tournament. Comes at the 4:50 mark of the first period. Now the Czechs did not, I don't think, love the way they started in their opener in the tournament, falling behind Japan, falling behind again after they tied it. But this they're going to like a lot more. Limiting the opportunities of the opponent and being patient until one came for them. Ohar's shot goes off the side of the net, swatted away by Lepacek. Slovakia trying to clear. Czechia is going to keep it alive. Here's Geyer, MVP of the 2019 World Championships. Geyer surveys the scene, slides it across for Zizlavsky, who just came back into the zone. Zizlavsky dangling with it, drops it off for his teammate. Geyer makes a line change. And the Slovaks, all they can do is get it to the center red line. Zizlavsky, though, with good speed and stealing it. Goes down the ice. And it's going to be called on the icing against Czechia. Interesting. It's that goal again from Vesely. Fights off Turek, goes to the middle. Quick pass under the sled from right stick to left. That creates a different view for him, a different angle for him. And he snaps it in, his first of the tournament. And that's one he won't soon forget. Neither will these fans, some probably seeing para ice hockey for the first time in their lives. Kept going behind his net. Slammed against the boards by Corman, but stays with it. Then he overskates it. Corman centering pass. And Ligda was there, but he just couldn't find the pass. Good play by the Slovak player Večerek to hold off the onslaught. And he's knocked down this time. Here's Zelinka following up. His shot is stopped. Rebound, they bang away at the side of the net. Here's Hetchko again. His pass is knocked away by Jopa. And he's going to send it out to center for Ligda. But he kind of got caught in the trolley tracks. Saw the bodies coming at him, the train coming. Good play there by Geyer to leave that puck alone. Had he touched it, it might have been a too many men on the ice penalty. Sometimes it's the subtle things that you might not notice. Here's Zelinka, captain of Team Czechia. Worked into the middle for Ohar, or at least Hobble chops it ahead. Golazal, nice little drop pass for Geyer, penalty coming. Here goes Geyer, his shot is stopped. And a penalty coming against Slovakia. Czechs are going to get their first power play of the game as they try to add to their 1-0 lead. It's like a tripping call. It's against Michal Hlinka. Important chance here for Jopa to rest a little bit. Again, he is seeing a lot of ice time for Team Slovakia. Kind of an animated discussion on the Slovak bench with head coach Ivan Hricko. These teams are part of Group B, along with Japan and Canada. So all the teams play each other in pool play. Top 2 teams from the pool move on to the semifinals. The bottom 2 teams, along with the bottom 2 teams from the other pool, battling for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th places. Shots on goal, 8-2, Czechia. They lead the game 1-0 on the power play now. Nice play by Kubas. Shakes off a check, swings it into the middle. Here's O'Hare with a shot. Nice shoulder save by Lepachuk. Jopa wires it off the boards, but kept in. And it is just barely onside. Here's Habel in for Geyer, but it's really well read by Jopa. And he's going to just find some open ice and send it all the way down. Back for it goes Pavel Kubas. Kubas snaps a pass ahead, but it was, again, intercepted by Jopa, who seems to have read a few of the pages of the Czech playbook. Here's Jopa in the corner, just chops it around the other side. His team still killing off a penalty. Zizlavsky surveys the ice, makes a play ahead for Kapko. His pass finds Vesely. He's got a bit of room, busting in on the left side, snaps one wide of the net. Dolezal follows it up smartly, taken against the boards. Battles for it though. 2 players are off their blades right now. They'll pop right back on again as soon as they can. The puck scoots free and Vesely's got it. Slides it back to the blue line for Zelinka. Here's a nice shot by Hetsko. That didn't miss by much. Dolezal, Zizlavsky, both battle in the corner. 3, they overwhelm the Slovaks. That's how you come up with the loose pucks. Here's Zelinka, throws it into the high slot area. That area about 8 meters in front of the goaltender. We call the slot. If you're familiar with hockey, you know that. If you're not, you might be wondering what the slot is. Here's Vesco, or Vesely rather, ahead for Habel. Penalty is over though. Slovaks have killed it off. Czechs still coming though. They'll send it around the boards. Don't think it's gonna go far enough, but it might for an icing here. It does just barely get across. So decent penalty kill by Slovakia, and as is often said, your best penalty killer is your goaltender, and Eduard Lepachuk certainly came up big for his team on that penalty kill. He is a big body, sits up nice and square in the net. Some people were saying they thought his goaltending performance was the best of day 1 of the Paralympic Winter Games Para Ice Hockey Tournament. Hard to argue with that. Yes, a lot of goals let in, but a whole lot of saves made. Here's Habel, nice play to Kubas. He butt ends the puck to his teammate, and that allows Czechia to maintain possession. Here's Geyer, drops it off for Kubas, sends it all the way to an open wing. Habel's gonna try to track it down, but it's Corman who's got it for Slovakia. He didn't even know it. And offside on the play was Jopa. He tried to get himself back, but he couldn't quite do it. So a 1-0 score with just over 5 to go in the opening period of play. Great battles along the boards, and is often pointed out. There's a great save by Lapacek. This is often pointed out when you get a body check and you're absorbing it in the Olympic version of this sport. It's against the glass, and the glass gives a little bit. It flexes a little bit. The boards do not, so it hurts. Habel was that on that play, and you can just see the effort these guys are putting in. Habel's stick was all tangled up in the sled of his opponent. It was inadvertent though, and no call on the play. Slovakia finishing 6th at the last 2 World Championships after a 7th place finish in the Beijing. They've also had to go through the B World Championships as well. They had a long way to go to qualify for these games. They played in the 5th place game last year in Buffalo in the World Championships. Had they won that, they would have got an automatic ticket to Milano Cortina 2026, but they lost that game, so Germany qualified. Slovakia then had to go through the qualifying tournament. Here comes Czechia to center, up by a goal, across the blue line. Zizlowski still with it, protects the puck well. Pesco with a chance. And then it's swatted away by Lapacek. Not sure if Vesco didn't see where the puck was going, but he kind of let it go past him. Good battle raging along the boards. Jopa had it swatted away from him. Zizlowski's got it. And he's going to dump it into an open corner. Vesco, before he goes after the puck, he looks to see who might be in the open if he gets there first and when he gets there first. Still battling for it. Czechia back to the blue line for Zelinka. Deals it into the corner for Vesely. Drops it off for Habel. Zelinka's going to keep it in. Nice protection of the puck on Corman. Still with it, Zelinka. Off for Vesely. Jams on the brakes. Looks for help. Zelinka taken hard against the end boards by Corman. And that's going to allow the Slovaks to gain possession, but they can't clear it. Nice job by Kubas to get in the passing lane, or the clearing lane, if you will. Zelinka. Ohar! Oh, he had a man heading to the net. That was Habel, who's now in the net. He'll try to exit the net as his teammates will try to organize more offense. Zelinka intercepted. Here's Jopa. Jopa trying to get a path to the net, but he's facing an onslaught of Czech players, and Geyer knocked him off stride just as he got the shot away. That's going to be an offside. Jopa couldn't have been too happy, or at least Geyer couldn't have been too happy with his teammate. When you've got a guy coming with speed, there's only one thing to do, and that's give it to him. Here's that chance from Jopa. He launched that. He got a pretty good shot away, and then it immediately turned back up the ice. And there's a close-up view of what Habel saw. Right into the net. Just over 2.5 minutes to go, opening period. Just one goal in the game. Vesely scored it just before the 5-minute mark. Czechs lead it. Here they come again. We've had a lot of possession. Ohar slides a pass. They score! A penalty was coming, but never mind. Zizlowski makes it 2-0. Czechia. Nice pass by Ohar as he's falling down on the play. You see he's kind of laying on his belly when he deals it across for Zizlowski. Right there, right there. You don't have to have the puck on your stick for a long time. Just a good time. And you can see the referee had his hand in the air. It was about to be a Czech power play. They won't get that, of course, because the goal negates it. But Zizlowski gets on the board. That's his first goal of the tournament. Well, that's nice balance for Czechia. Two players who did not score in the opener have scored in this game. So they now have 5 players with 1 goal each. Dolezal under pressure here from Jopa. Dolezal does well to run him off. Jopa gets a stick on it. Zizlowski protects the puck. Nice play to send it ahead to Zelinka. And he is going to be an offside. Vesco did everything he could to try to get back on side, but he just couldn't do it after that puck went under his sled. Pretty competitive first period here, but you can sort of start to sense the momentum really swinging towards Czechia, the ice slanting just a little bit, if you will. Zizlowski, dynamite on the face-offs yet again. Pass that Vesely's gonna chase after. Around the boards, Hlinka sends it. Under 100 seconds to play in the opening period. Here's Zelinka, captain of Czechia. His pass just finds Hetsko. Holds off the check. 2 Slovak player checking him, that is. I guess it gets a little confusing when I say check, and I mean he's knocking the puck away. I don't mean check as in Czechia. Here's Zelinka, he's got a bit of room, but now they block his path. Vesely has to go back to get it. Just over a minute to play in the opening period now. Zelinka with some room. Captain shoots with the left and a nice arm save. And I think Zizlowski might have headed that puck. Here's Dolezal. He's got a bit of time and space. Sends a pass across. There's a chance right through the blue ice, Zelinka. Dolezal goes back for it. Czechs all trying to stay on the attack and onside. Zizlowski with a shot, and that is caught by the blocking hand of Lepacek. You don't see that very often. Yeah, and he's feeling that one just a little bit. Right catching goaltender. That was that goal by Zizlowski on the nice setup from O'Hare. Czechs change up the lines, and the Hobble Geyer unit will try to get something going. Off the glove, that one looked like, of Lepacek. O'Hare trying to push the puck past Corman. Here's Hobble waiting behind the net. Picked up by Kubas. He launches it right at the goaltender. Lepacek's going to hold, and he'll be happy to get another whistle with 13.9 seconds to go in period number 1. Hobble against Jopa, lining up for the face-off. I could be wrong, but I don't think that Martin Jopa, the captain of Team Slovakia, has come off the ice yet. That has yet to be confirmed. Final seconds now of the period. Can Czechia get a shot? No, Slovakia is going to send it down the ice. It'll be an icing, but the horn will sound before that happens. So after 1 period of play, Team Czechia leads it by a 2-0 score over Slovakia. Vesely and Zizlowski, the goal scorers for the Czechs. You saw there through the glass, number 7, Stashek for Slovakia. But he has not played yet a minute in this game. Vesely unassisted at 4:50. Zizlowski from O'Hare at 12:40. That's where we sit. 2-0 Czechs after one. To 3, the shots on goal favoring Czechia, but the Slovakian side does a better job on the face-offs, each team winning 50% of the draws. Just the one penalty in the period. Team that won the bronze medal at the last two. Check that. The team that won the bronze medal at the last 3 World Championships, Czechia, facing their neighbors, Slovakia. Early chance for Martin Jopa. Kudela with the glove hand save. He was ready. Jopa, as we expect, continuing to play a ton of minutes on the Slovak side. Czechia just kept on coming in that period until finally Vesely, in kind of a broken play, comes up with the puck. Great movement on his right stick to left. That came right after the Slovaks had a chance to try to clear the zone, and you've got to try to take advantage of those opportunities when you get them. Otherwise, players like Vesely will make you pay for it. Well, they have so much speed and talent, and the 3 lines, they were mostly just using the 2 lines with the Czechs. Kudela got a bit handcuffed there on that long-range shot from Jopa, but again, you can see all the Czech players coming back, tracking back, as we like to say in hockey. Some call it back checking, some call it tracking. It's the same thing. O'Hara had just drawn a penalty on that sequence, and he was able to, from his belly, make that pass for Zizlowski. And you can just see the appreciation there from Zizlowski to O'Hara to set him up on his first goal of the tournament. And that was it for the goal scoring in the period. It wasn't it for the action, though. There were 14 shots by the Czechs, just 3 for the Slovaks. But when all was said and done, it's a 2-0 lead for Czechia over Slovakia through 1 period of play. second period right around the corner. Team Czechia, Team Slovakia. Czechs scored twice in the first period. Vesely and Zizlavsky. Both even strength goals. There's one of your goal scorers right there, 55 on the left. And Slovakia making its way onto the ice. Lepacek, just a really impressive goaltender. He is not easy to beat. The other end of the ice, Martin Kudela, playing in his third Paralympic Winter Games. Goaltenders, the final line of defense. Slovakia finished in 7th place in Beijing 4 years ago. Didn't get to play a playoff game just because of the way the tournament was structured with only 7 teams. Czechs, meanwhile, wound up in 6th place. And as we've been repeating, since then, they have been on the podium at the last 3 World Championships in the bronze medal, and you can see why. Maybe looked a little shaky in their opening game, at least at early stages, but not today. It's only 2-0, but they have looked balanced, have protected the puck well. They have been strong defensively, and they have capitalized on a really, really tough goaltender. So that sets the stage for period number 2. Slovakia in white on the right of your screen. Czechs in the red on the left, obviously. Večerek goes back in his own zone. Hard shot off the boards. That finds Ligda. He falls, still manages to corral it and send a pass across for Milos Večerek, who played about 32 minutes in the opening game of the tournament for Slovakia. Here's Zelinka. Nice little bank off the boards for Vesely. He's got Esko in front. Comes back to Vesely again. Esko. Zizlavsky, third member of this forward line. He is gathering it in, or at least trying to gather it in the corner. Back to the blue line. Dolezal was waiting there, didn't come to him. Now he's got it. He sends one all the way to the other side for Vesely. Turns with it in the corner, looks up for Zizlavsky, decides to send it to the blue line for Captain Zelinka instead. He'll work it for Dolezal. Good puck movement by the Czechs. There's a shot. What a goal! Left-handed. Just a laser beam from Zizlavsky. His second of the game, and that is an absolute laser. I gotta see that one again. It starts with a great puck movement by Czechia, and then he just fires this one. And always harder to make saves on your blocker side than it is on your glove side. Zizlavsky, though, he was thrilled with himself on that one. And in a little tribute there for Jaromir Jagr, the longtime NHL player who wore that very important number 68. So, Czechs have opened it up a little bit here. It's 3-0. We suspected it was coming. Now with the great puck movement, you're glad to see there's 2 assists on that play. Pavel Dolezal picks up the primary assist, and Radek Zelinka, the second one. The 2 defensemen I love that. Love that. We salute you. Martin Zizlowski plays for Sparta Prague in the Czech Para Ice Hockey League. There's Jopa. This one into the area in front of the net. That was going wide. We've got a penalty coming here against Slovakia. This is going to be an interference call. Yes, you can body check in this sport, but when a player is playing the puck and the officials judging that Ligda had played the man when the puck was not there. And so Czechia goes to its second power play of the game. They are 0 for 1 in that category. They've got all 3 of their goals at even strength. Vesely with 1, Zizlowski with 2. And now the Czechs want to work on their power play, you got to think. Not sure what Jopa, the captain of Czechia, is discussing with referee Patrick Myers. If only we had microphones like the curlers do. Here's Vesely. Takes his time, drops it off for Zizlowski. Lots of movement on the Czech power play. Dolezal comes back onto the stick of Dolezal again. He's got a bit of room. He wants to shoot it. Lapacek makes the save. And the puck gathered in by Zizlowski again. Maybe looking for the hat trick. Vesely. Here's Vesely. He shoots. That was blocked. Slovakia might have a chance to clear it. No, great play to keep it alive by the Czechs. Maybe another chance on this side. Couldn't get it done, though, from Vichera. And now, second opportunity. Jopa sends it down the ice. His team has killed off the first minute of this 2-minute penalty. Zelinka leaves it there for Dolezal. Swings it back to his defense partner. Here's Geyer. Realizes he had nothing going forward, so he sends it back to Dolezal. Under 45 seconds to work on this power play. Here's Habel. His pass is kind of behind, but Knipko's going to skate into it, and he fires it over top of the net. Kapko, rather. Czechs keep this play going. A chance, though, for Ferencik to try to clear it. Can't get it out. Kubas is going to pick up the puck that was left for him. Kubas with a bit of room, throws it across. And Geyer trying to put his stick down to gather it in. Here's Habel. Ohar, Geyer. Doesn't want to shoot it yet. Now picked up by Habel. Penalty over, even strength. Ohar trying to get a stick on it to tip that one in. Here's Geyer with the puck. And it's swatted off the stick by Jopa. He's going to rim it around the boards, but it's kept in by Ohar. Ligda has him all tied up, has a stick right over his shoulder. And Ohar holds off a check, still moving. Ohar down, finally taken away and pushed out to center ice by Večerek. Czechs are starting a line change here. Here's Kubas. He drills it into the zone. We're nearing the 5-minute mark of the second period. 1 goal in this period for Czechia. They lead it 3-0. Here's Vesely. He got the scoring started tonight for his team. Drops it off for Dolezal. Back to the blue line it comes for Hetsko. He leaves it for Zizlowski. Hesko with a bit of room. A shot and a goal! What a passing play. Tick, tack, toe. Vesely scores his second of the game, and he can thank his teammates for the beautiful passing. Here's how the play finally ends. Lapacek was trying to do all glove there. He just couldn't get his body in front of it. And he's really good with that glove. He's trying to take his paddle, his stick, which of course has those laser cut spikes on it, and he's trying to push himself into a better position, but it all happens so quickly. And the Czechs were just too quick on it. So at 5:05 of the second period, this is going to be another one of these goals, I think, that has 2 assists on it. It does. Vesely from Hetsko and Zizlovsky. Czechs push it out to center ice. Slovaks are still pushing hard here. They're trying to get something going offensively, but first they've got to be strong defensively. Ligda has it roll off his stick. We have yet to see Miroslav Stashik, one of the alternate captains, and Slovakia is about to get a power play here. And this is an interesting play, because normally when you get an icing call, you bring the faceoff back in the defensive zone, but when you get a power play, you bring the faceoff in the offensive zone. So I think the faceoff will be somewhere near center ice. Vaclav Hetsko is in the box. He's got 2 for roughing. Well, I had the pleasure of walking from the metro stop and the bus stop to the building today with thousands, or at least hundreds, if not thousands, of school kids. And the energy was palpable. And now they're in the building. And they've been in the building for much of the day. Different groups of kids coming in and out. It's been a lot of fun. So it is the Slovakia power play. They're going to face it off just outside the blue line. That's the right call. Here's Jopa back for it. Captain of Team Slovakia. Drops it off into the corner. Now this is interesting. That's Ligda, who took the pass. I was just trying to see if Stashik had maybe made his entrance onto the ice, but he hasn't yet. Jopa gathers in the puck. He's got Hobble on him. His shot is blocked, comes back. Here's Ligda with a shot. Comes back again to Corman. And this is going to be pushed out. And Hobble, he got bumped just enough to take him away from getting a breakaway. But here's Geyer following up shorthanded. Another chance. Lepacek makes the save, and his teammate comes crashing in, and he stops both teammate and puck and keeps them from entering the net. So yes, Slovakia is still on the power play for the next 71 seconds, but they've got to start about 55 meters away from where their target is. Good penalty killing by Czechia. Here's Martin Jopa, the MVP of the Paralympic qualifying tournament. Leading scorer in that tournament. He has yet to get on the board in this one. He's going to pick up the loose puck, though, in between the blue lines, in the neutral zone. Here's Jopa, maybe a pass, gets a shot away. Nice save by Kudela. Goes on his side and kind of makes that double pad stack. And Czechia's captain able to dump it down the ice. That was Radek Zelinka. Still about 20 seconds to go in this Slovakia power play, but they are still, again, a long way from their target. They did get that one opportunity. We'll try to develop another one here. Good read by Zelinka. Here's Jopa. Nice little push up on the wing for Ferencek. Tries to drop it off, but Zelinka was there. Jopa knocks it away. The penalty is over. Slovaks still in the offensive zone. Can they generate something? Here's Hetsko. He's able to grab the puck, skate it in, drop it off. Zelinka scores! Zelinka following up beautifully on the play, and Hetsko delivers him the pass. You kill off the penalty on one hand, you score on the other. When you go on offense and you deliver the puck to your captain, and he proved at the World Championships last year he could score key goals in key moments. And he beats Lepacek high on the glove side, his head side really. His head is up there. He's almost trying to get his head and his glove on that one. But it's so hard when a player has the ability to raise the puck from that close range. Fairly tight opening period. Czechs really gained momentum toward the late stages. Carried it over into the second. We're going to take a look at this goal, says referee Patrick Myers. So this wouldn't be anything to do with an offside. Would it be goaltender interference that they might be looking at? If it was a potential offside, you would have one or both of the linesmen in the penalty box area looking at the challenge video request. At least typically that is the way. So is it a voluntary play? Does Hetsko push Jopa into the goaltender purposely to create an opportunity for his teammate, or is it just a collision that happens in the course of play? And that is the question. I'm not going to speculate. There are those who might and think it's going to be a goal. So again, the call on the ice is goal. It's got to be absolutely clear evidence. So there's shoulder-to-shoulder contact, and the Jopa goes crashing into Eduard Lepacek. So Zelinka from Hetsko and Vesely, the goal and the assists. 5-0, Czechia now leads. Ohar slammed into by the shoulder of Večeřek. Continuing to throw his weight around. Ohar pushes it in behind. Havel's going to leave it there. He'll get it back. He didn't know it though. Geyer had dished him off a pass. Kept in at the blue line by Kapko. Now Kubas floats one towards the net. Didn't miss by much. 9 minutes into the second period. Czechs continue to pressure. Večeřek couldn't get it by Kubas. Here's another chance developing for Czechia. Alista Geyer. Havel comes back to Kapko at the blue line. Sends one towards the net. Never got through. And the battle rages in the corner. Corman and Ohar. Corman's got it. Can he clear it for Slovakia? No, because this is a physical game, and he runs into Kubas. Does a nice job, and it's going to end up on the net, and the save is made and held by Eduard Lepacek. Each team plays 3 group stage games in the Paralympic tournament. These two teams are in Pool B, along with Japan and Canada. Zelinka and Corman. And you can see that Zelinka won that battle. Might argue he's on the wrong end of that one. Yeah, he's giving us pretty good looks at how these sleds are made. They are really strong and flexible and lightweight. All of those things are important. And some people think, and Declan Farmer did a nice job explaining this on a video. If you haven't started following Declan on Instagram, you should, because he has had a whole lot of videos where he's been explaining to people all the different elements of the equipment and the ice of para ice hockey. And he was explaining that a lot of people think they use one blade under the sled. No, it's two blades that are close together. So Czechia now with the Vrubel, Patek, Ondrak line on the ice. Getting some time. Comes back to Dolezal at the point. His shot low, blocked in front, scramble for it, ends up in the corner. Jopa goes after it. And Martin Jopa spins away from the forechecker, takes it back in behind. He'll dish it off for his teammate. And it's gonna come out to center ice. Garbier was trying to track that puck down. Here's Zelinka. He's got time and space. His pass finds Patek. But it's going to be broken up, but not cleared yet by Večerek. Jopa spins and sends it down the ice. Not going to go far enough. That's exactly the kind of play you want to do. You want to have on a clear. Zelinka almost lost that one in his stick, in his skates rather. Here comes Hetsko. Swings it across, Vesely. 2 goals in the game already. Vesely, nice little handiwork with his stick. Both of them, in fact. Zizlavsky drops it off. Dolezal, Vesely again, Dolezal again. The puck bounces in the net, and it's gonna go off of Milos Večerek right into the Slovak net. And that one hurts if you're a fan of Slovakia. So Dolezal looks like he's going to get credit for this one. Yeah, it was his shot. And that's the first of the Paralympic tournament for Pavel Dolezal from Vesely and Zizlavsky. Patek just kind of left. Well, first of all, you're trying to react, and then you're trying to react to the tip. And when it comes off your own teammate, that's just salt in the wound. 2 in the first, now 4 in the second period for Czechia. And they're not going to stop. Kapko dumps it in. Corman couldn't gather it in, launched on net. Lepacek's going to decide, hey, I'm just going to hold on to this. The interesting thing here is that the first period, Czechia fired 14 shots at the Slovak net. They got 2 goals. The second period, they've only fired 6 shots, and they've got 4 goals. So we talked about that they were the second best team in scoring efficiency last year at the World Championships, and they are proving to be efficient again this time around. Maybe the coach said, hey, stop giving him these long-range, easy shots. All you're doing is boosting his confidence, he being Edward Lepacek. I don't know. Speculating, of course. Jakub Novotny might have had a message something like that. They've now bumped the shot clock up to 21 shots. You can see on the top left of your screen. with 3:04 to go in period number 2. 3 periods, of course, in para ice hockey, 15 minutes stop time. The Olympic game we saw in this building a few weeks ago, 3-minute periods, 20 minutes of stop time. I don't suspect we'll see it in this game, but if we do end up in overtime in one of these games, it will be 4-on-4 overtime for 5 minutes. If it's still tied, it'll be a 3-person shootout. We confirmed that with the referees, the head referees before the game today. Here's Geyer. Sends it around the boards. Nice play, though. Doesn't send it too hard for Habo, or at least for Kapko. Here's Corman, and he is absolutely rocked. Wow, what a hit that was. Kubas. He caught his man with his head down a little bit. Kubas has got the puck now. Feeling good about himself. Here's O'Hare. He's made a nice play into the middle of the ice. He's going to get the return feed, and he just pushed it a little too far ahead of himself. Swings it to the other side for Kapko. Lucas Kapko, 19 years of age, game-winning goal in their opening game of the tournament. Kubas launches one at the other corner. Right by the Agitos, the Paralympic logo. You've got 4-5 players all in close range of the puck. And it is finally fished out by Slovakia and sent around the boards. Ferencik goes after it. He'll left-hand it up the boards. Ligda is shut down by Dolezal, but good second effort by Corman. And a good play by Radek Zelinka, the captain. But it was a delayed offside here against Czechia, and they're going to say this is intentional. They're going to bring the faceoff all the way down the ice. Yes, you can make that play, but if your stick contacts the puck above your shoulders, then that is a high stick, not a penalty, just a whistle. That might have been actually what that play was, and or the delayed offside. I'm not sure if Vrubal did that on purpose, but he pushed the puck forward off the faceoff, sends it down the ice. Slovakia to center and sent right back in by Patek. Patek, one of the newcomers on the team. This coach, Novotny, has been trying to get this third line some more minutes. And he'd love to see them manufacture a goal here with under a minute to play in period number 2. Czechia in full control with a 6-0 lead on Slovakia. Here's Patek. And he has it taken away by Jopa, who looks up at the board and then sends it out to Corman at center. His pass shut off again by Dolezal, who feeds Zelinka. Fighting in behind his net, drops it off for Dolezal. That is not something they're just making up on the fly. They have practiced this 1,000 times. Zelinka spins at center ice. He's got Dolezal moving, decides to go with himself, and then has it swatted away. Good puck support, though, by Czechia. Vrubal swings it into open ice. Trying to track it down was Ondrak. Final seconds of the period. And it was an impressive period for the team in red. Make no mistake about it. 4 goals for Czechia. Zizlowski, Vesely, Zelinka, and Dolezal. And they are in full control, leading 6-0 through 2 periods of play. was the second period. Zizlavsky, Vesely, Zelinka, and Dolazel. So those bottom two goals scored by defensemen. Czechs really get their defensemen involved in the game. And it has paid dividends for them in this game. There's no doubt about it. They outshot, Czechia outshot Slovakia in that period 7-1 and got rewarded with 4 goals. Not something you see every day, that is for sure. There you see it. Slovakia better on face-offs in that period, just about 67% efficiency, 8 for 12. You want to work on things as your tournament goes on. You can win statistical categories. If you can win sections of games, you've got something to build off of. But right now, it is all Czechia on the scoreboard. Santa Julia Arena has been a great host for para ice hockey so far. And it was Zizlavsky who absolutely wired that one in. A little tribute to Jaromír Jágr, the great Czech national team standing ice hockey player and NHL superstar for decades. But the Czechs passing, the Czechs skill with their sticks and their skates, like dealing the puck, protecting the puck, using their teammates, really unselfish. Good puck support. You see on the play there how one player loses it, but there's another player coming right in with support on the play. And even though Lepacic is a world-class para ice hockey goaltender, he has just been overwhelmed. And that one was a play where it was actually appealed. Slovakia said, hey, we think that might have been goaltender interference. Actually, no, that might have been a different play. I apologize. Look at that great no-look pass on that play from Hetsko. Feeds his captain, and Zelinka makes no mistake. Top corner of the net. And Dolazel, really important member of the Czech squad, defenseman who plays a lot of minutes. Normally a defensive role, does a nice job moving the puck to his teammates in most cases. This time, he's sending it to the front of the net, I think hoping somebody's gonna knock in a loose puck, and they do, but it's the opposition. And that was 1 of 4 in the period for Czechia. They were the better team and have been through 2. They lead at 6-0 over Slovakia. Great atmosphere inside the Milano Santa Giulia Ice Hockey Arena. As we get set for the third period, Czechia scored 4 in the second. Zizlavsky, Vesely, Zelinka, and Dolezal. Vesely with 2 goals in the game. Zizlavsky with 2 goals in the game. Zelinka with 2 goals in the tournament. And Dolezal getting his first. In fact, Vesely and Zizlavsky and Zelinka have all scored twice now in the tournament. Beautiful scenes outside of the Milano Santa Giulia Ice Hockey Arena. And great atmosphere inside as well. Czechia has been part of the Para Ice Hockey Tournament since Vancouver in 2010, when they finished in 5th place. They were 5th again in Sochi in 2014. They were 6th in Pyeongchang in 18, and they were 6th again in Beijing in 2022. Slovakia, on the other hand, this is only their 2nd time appearing in the Paralympic Winter Games. 7th place finish in Beijing. They will have bigger games and more important games still to come. This is important. They will have other important games still to come. Each team will play 3 pool games. Dolezal picking up his first goal of the tournament. Referee Patrick Myers in discussion with Jakub Novotny. It's always interesting. The coaches have their pep talk for the players, and then the players will go out onto the ice, and then they'll gather in their little huddle and have a discussion. You see the Slovak huddle right there. Vesely and his teammates just coordinated one with the Czech side. Teams are going to begin the third period at full and even strength. 5 skaters aside, 2 goaltenders, of course. Czechia trying to use this game as a stepping stone to get into the medal round. Top 2 teams from each of the 2 pools earn a spot in the semifinals. Czechia sitting with a 1-0 record, looking to improve to 2-0. They lead it 6-0. And here we go, third period action at the Santa Giulia Arena. Czechia in red, heading back in their own zone to pick up the puck, and it's going to be an icing call instead. Slovakia relieving what was maybe a little bit of pressure, although it hadn't really developed yet. Well, worth repeating, lots of school kids having a day trip. Love that, part of the curriculum. Sometimes we'll see in different parts of the world, they'll have a Paralympic unit, and nations will even will be adopted by certain classes. Love to see that as well. Here comes Czechia. Vesely tries a centering pass, be kept in by Zelinka, and after the block, does a nice job protecting the puck. Zizlavsky goes after it. Both Zizlavsky and Vesely on a 2-goal game, so hat tricks are possible as Jopa just filters the puck out to center. Dolezal back for it. Might be feeling a little heat from David Corman. Now Vesely, really maneuverable on his sled. He's got great power. Slides a pass up on the left side for Zelinka. At least Zizlavsky. His centering pass finds Vesely in front. Oh, he had a chance to seal the hat trick, and he just had it slide off his stick. Here's Vesely, just tries to deflect one possibly off the goaltender. Never a bad idea to send something towards the net. Team Slovakia was a silver medalist at the B-Pool World Championships back in 2023. That earned them a berth in the A-Pool World Championships. They finished 6th in consecutive years. Early stages here, third period. Slovakia hemmed in their own zone again. Ferencik works it around the boards for Korman. Out to center ice for Ligda. He finds Jopa, one man to beat. Jopa looks back to see if he's got any help. He's going to get a chance to shoot it. Oh, he couldn't, but he's drawn a penalty, or... Yes, he's drawn a penalty, not a penalty shot. That was going to be the or. So we're going to call this a tripping call. A penalty that we are seeing called a lot more at this tournament than ever before. Basically, when you knock somebody's sled down, you kind of chop it out from under them. That's when we're getting the tripping calls. So, Slovaks on the power play. They get the start in the offensive zone. Slavomir Ferencik will try to win the draw. And he hasn't yet. It's a scramble draw come up with by Kapko momentarily, and then he lost the battle in the corner. We haven't had in this tournament yet is a two-man advantage. Referees aren't looking for that opportunity, but if they see an infraction, they will call it. Here's Jopa. He dishes it off, and then it's stolen. Ohar's got a bit of room, slides a pass, and there's Hobble, and he slams it wide of the net. Again, Czechs reading the power play well. Večerek couldn't catch up with that one. It'll be fired to the blue line, but kept in by Slovakia. Here's Ligda trying to catch up, gets a shot. Oh, nice glove save by Kudela. And with a man scramble around him, he does well to cover it up. Ligda taking advantage of that setup from his captain. And it was Martin Kudela who was doing the double pad stack with the glove on top, and he makes a nice stop. Slovakia still time to work on this power play, just under a minute. Jopa comes in to grab the puck, throws it across, they score! First goal of the tournament for Slovakia. Korman gets it. Jopa set it up. And that kind of gets the monkey off their back. Nice setup by the Slovaks. There's Jopa. He finds Korman. Does he get all of it? No. Will he tell his grandkids he fired it in? Yes. Because they don't ask how, they ask how many. And Korman has just scored a Paralympic goal for Team Slovakia. And just to get that first one of the tournament is so key. 2:43 of the period is the time of the goal. Not sure what we're confirming here, but we are confirming must admit, I have never seen that before. I've seen it in other sports, like basketball, when someone from the scorekeeper's area holds up a number, but I have never seen it in hockey. 6-1 is where we sit right now. Czechia leading Slovakia. Interestingly enough, that was the score when these teams met last year at the World Championships. Here's Jopa, picked up his first point of the tournament just moments ago. He's got it again. He's capable of scoring. He's got Corman with him. Tries to filter a pass through, but he is drilled against the boards. And it's going to come all the way back into the Slovak zone. And they are 1 for 1 on the power play. How about those stats? Corman, the goal scorer, back in his own end for Ligda. Tries to touch it ahead for Corman again. And the puck picked up and pushed around by Helinka. Didn't get all of that one, but he does get it out to center. Here's Ligda, his pass intercepted. Czechs turn the other way. Zelinka cutting in, he's got some room, he fires one, Lepacek to save. And then he covers it, he thought he had it covered. Referee Myers right on top of the plays. Lepacek trying to collect himself, upright himself. Play goes on. Here's Zizlavsky, drops it back for Vesely. His shot is blocked. Corman just gets it out of the trouble area, but they'll keep it in the zone with the Czechs. Zelinka doesn't want to shoot it. Now he drops it off for Vesely. Goes to Zizlavsky. He sends it zinging through the crease as the referee Myers ducking for cover. Jopa's going to shovel it to the blue line, not out. From one captain to the other. And Jopa was hoping that that would find him on the other end. He was dodging for what he hoped would be a breakaway. But here's Vesely the other way, and he left hands it wide of the net. Zizlavsky does a nice job to hold off the checking player. It's fired over top of the net by Zelinka. We're past the 5-minute mark of the third period. 6-1, Czechia leads. They scored 2 in the first, 4 in the second, and they haven't been able to score yet in the third because of that man, Edward Lepacek. He has stopped 3 shots here already in this period, and he's stopped 18 of 24 so far in the game. Now we went just about 5 minutes in the first period without a goal. And then the Czechs got 2 in that period, added 4 more in the second. Geyer using his body to free up the puck. And he's not afraid of the physical play. Basically, you're not just hitting because it feels good. You're trying to come up with a puck. That's the goal of the play. There are those numbers for Lepacek. 9:32 to go, third period. Czechia leads it by a 6-1 score, but have yet to get one past Lepacek here in the third. And his teammates have put one on the board for him. Here's Turek across the Czechia blue line, launches a long one that's kicked aside by Martin Kudela. Czechs overskate it at center ice. That was Ondrak. And now following up is Zelinka. The Cherek got just enough of him. Here's a chance in front, he scores! Zelinka! On a nice setup from Theodor Patek. It looked like that play might have been broken, but Patek had other ideas. He kept it moving. His captain headed for the net, and he's got his second of the game, his third of the tournament. really, really nice feed there from Patek. And Zelinka, look at that. He curls with the puck, delivers the pass right into this, onto the stick of Zelinka, who's moving with speed to the net. And there is the first goal of period number 3. .5:59, the official time of that goal. And here they come again. Michael Geyer leads the rush, and he scores. Geyer wanted to get in on the fun, and he does. Give him his second of the tournament. There are a lot of Czech fans in attendance, as evidenced by the video. So what Geyer does there is he really sells that he might use his teammate. I might pass it, I might, you never know, I might, and then he just slides it into the net, hobbles there. He's the willing option on the play, potential option. He's ready, he's got his stick ready. The decoy, that's what I was trying to think of. He's the willing decoy on the play. That goal comes 11 seconds after the Czechs had scored back to back. And they are coming again. Ohar tried to drop it off there for Habel. Sent around the board. It's going to be kept alive, though, by Czechia with Geyer. Mikhail Geyer centering pass goes right through that area in front of the net. Here's Ohar, keeps the play alive. Kopko, Geyer, drills one wide of the net. Habel. Ohar behind. Kubes. Calm, cool, collected. Kubes. Centering pass. Might have glanced off the shoulder of the goaltender on the deflection. Večerek can't get to it to clear it. His teammates have a chance, and it will go down the ice. Ligda got a touch on it, and this is going to be an icing call as it just barely made its way across the line, but nevertheless it did. Slovaks have managed 4 shots on the Czech net in this period, but haven't been, did get rewarded early with the goal. Captain of Team Slovakia, Jopa, dances away from a couple of forecheckers. Looks out to make a pass for Corman. He does, and he is shut down by Tolazau. Here's Zelinka. In for Patek. That third line back on the ice again for Czechia. Coach Novotny trying to give them as much experience as they can. You never know when you might need them to drop into one of the top 2 lines or become one of the top 2 lines. Patek showing that he is eager to be in the mix, but here's Jopa. Still with it, trying to create some space for himself or his teammates. Jopa still has it. Got one just wide of the net. Patek's going to pick it up. And he's going to shovel it ahead for Ondrak, who does manage to get it to the Slovak blue line. Here is Ligda, one of the alternate captains for Team Slovakia. Takes his time. Couldn't get it past the first man. Now he sends it across. Jopa's going to go collect it. He's going to back up, regroup, find Corman. He goes cross ice. for Večerek, and he missed him with the pass just. It'll be sent down the ice. The lines person waves off the icing. Here's Jopa. He has played all but about 2.5 minutes of this game. Jopa couldn't make the play forward this time. Kapko keeps it going for Czechia. Broken up. Ligda lets it go to Večerek. He finds Jopa. He'll dump it in. 5.5 to go, third period. Slovakia's got their first goal of the Paralympic para ice hockey tournament. And they're looking for more. Martin Ligda drops it off. They push it deep into the zone to Slovakia. And they are bound and determined here. Here's Ferencik. The big number 66. His shot is blocked. And Zizlavsky leads the charge the other way. Into the middle of the ice. Huge hit as Kubas gets the shot away after he took the hit. And bodies tumble in front. Vesely, good to see, got a smile on his face even after that. One of the things the Slovak coach talked about, even when they lost their first game by a big score, he says, we just love this game. We just love it. And we don't know how we're going to do, where we're going to finish, but we just don't want to miss an opportunity to play this game. We love it so much. A lot of people around the world agree with it. It is a great game, and it's an integral part of the Paralympic Winter Games, and has been so since 1994 in Lillehammer, when Sweden, Norway, and Canada were on the podium. And you might be saying, hey, what happened to Sweden and Norway? Well, they tried to qualify for these games, but it is a hard go when you've been relegated out of the mix for Sweden to try to get back into the A-Pool World Championships. For Norway, this is a hard pill to swallow for them. Second games in a row that they did not qualify. This is a team that was a gold medalist back in Nagano, and everybody hopes to see them back again. And I am told that they are definitely on the rebuild. Under 5 minutes to go, third period. Czechia leads it by a score of 8-1. Slovaks scored first in this period. 2 goals by Czechia, Zelinka and Geyer. Zelinka has the puck right now. The number 15, the captain for Team Czechia, had it pushed off his stick. But because of the way he guards the puck, he was still in the way of it. That's a smart play to learn for young para ice hockey players. Use your sledge or your sled to block the puck whenever you can. And you've got to learn how to stick handle with both hands. Here's a chance for Slovakia in front, and that was just pushed wide by Turic. Here's Zelinka. Absorbs the hit from Turic. Jopa pushes the puck free. Sent around the boards by Dolezal. Zelinka's got it. Relieves some pressure. Sends it ahead. A race for it. Ondrak was trying to catch up to it. And he could have been off to the races. Dolezal. Now grabbed by Vrubal. And he'll dump it in. Czechia changing this line. 2 of the 3 have already headed to the bench. Ondrak stays on the ice. Patek digs for it in the corner. Well, I beg your pardon then, because Patek is on that third line, and he's still on the ice. This is potentially going to be an icing call here against Slovakia. It is. So now the Czechs complete the rest of that line change. Well, you see how quick the linesmen are skating from one end to the other. They are trying to, after the end of one play, they are trying to get the play to resume as quickly as possible. something in the range of 15 or 20 seconds, and they will have already dropped the puck. Corman just ticks it out to center ice. Under 3 minutes to play now in the third. Czechs trying to add to their 8-1 lead, but Jopa and Slovakia has other ideas. However, this is going to be yet another icing call. I hope you're enjoying the great sport of para ice hockey. The fans in attendance certainly are. Great day in Milano Cortina 2026 to be a hockey fan. Jopa against Vrubal. So Jakub Novotny doing a good job. He's resting some of his really key players who he knows are going to get huge minutes as this tournament goes on. Here's Zelinka, drills one on net. And the save made by Eduard Lapacek, and he's going to hold it. Now 7 shots in the period. At Lapacek, 28 in the game. As you can see from the scoreboard on the top left of your screen. Glad to have you along wherever you're watching, whatever you're watching on para ice hockey from the Milano Santa Giulia Arena. As the tournament is in full swing, and here comes Jopa. He's got Corman with him. Jopa decides to stick with it, still has it. Trying to create a little bit of room for himself. Off the back of the net, it kind of glanced. And can the Slovaks keep it in at the blue line? No, not this time. You got a bit of a traffic jam, but the loose puck is scooped up. Inside of 2 minutes to play now in the third. Milos Večerek goes back in his own zone. Czechs are changing. Slovaks are trying to attack. That didn't work, so Slavomir Ferencek's going to go back in his own zone to get it. As we catch up with him. Drop it off for Večerek. He overskates it. Vesely after it. It'll be roped around the boards and all the way down the ice, but no icing on this one. Zelinka. Hey, how about a hat trick for Zelinka? He's got 2 in the game. Got a few players who have a chance. Here's a centering pass, broken up by the Czechs. And here they come to center ice. Vesely, one of those players with 2 in the game, feeds it ahead. He gets it back. Vesely, a chance for a hat trick. No! Great poke check by Lapacek. Good job by Kapko to keep this play in. But what a save by Lapacek. Another one that might have gone off Zizlowski. We're in the final 40 seconds now. And Vesely, well, that was your chance. He heads to the bench now to try to get the hat trick. Here comes Vrubal. Kubas with a shot, comes back to Vrubal off the side of the net. Battle rages in behind with 3 players. Dug free by Jopa. He knows how much time is left. He's trying to kill it off and finish this one off so he can head for a nice bath, maybe. And that's going to do it. Team Czechia, 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 in the third period. Slovakia finally gets its first goal of the tournament, brought a huge roar from the crowd. But in the end, it was too little too late. An 8-1 win for Czechia over Slovakia. A little frustration possibly setting in for the Slovak team. They'll have one more game in pool play and then a seeding game after that. But they were pushed to the limit today. Final shots on goal, by the way, 30-9 in favor of Czechia. Slovaks managed 5 in the third period, their best output of the tournament, in fact. 9-5 the margin. Certainly appreciation from the Slovak team of the goaltending efforts of Eduard Lapacek, the 31-year-old. Stopped 22 in this game, and many of the brilliant variety. No complaints for referee Patrick Myers and linesman Andreas Lunden and Marius Hermansen, I don't think, from either team. Pretty fairly called. 2-0 the record now for Czechia. And they'll head into their final pool play game knowing that a semi-final berth has now been achieved. They'll want to head into the semi-finals on a winning note and prove that they are indeed a team that is hungry for the podium. Tip of the hat for the Czech fans. Referees, I think, had a lot of respect for the goaltending effort that we just saw from Eduard Lapacek. He is proving to be among the elite in this game. Both teams really appreciating the support from their fans and the fans of the sport in general. Saw Zivzlowski there. Good game for him. 2 goals and 1 assist. Captain Zelinka, same stats, 2 and 1. Filip Vesely led all scorers in the game. He had 4 points, 2 goals, and 2 assists, the number 55. There you see him, middle of your screen. And he was middle of the play on many, many occasions. So was that man, Joppa. He's put everything he has into success for his team. He set up their only goal. Huge, huge support for Team Czechia. Big games yet to come, but they're 2-0 now at the Paralympic tournament. Captain Zelinka, a huge reason for that. Well, the one thing Slovakia can feel good about is winning 60% of the face-offs in the game. If you can start the play with the puck, you've given yourself a real opportunity. So the Czechs improved to 2-0 and right now sit on top of Group B. They'll have one more match to play. It'll be against the team that's sitting in second right there, Canada.
Paralympic Winter Games wish to provide all spectators a clean and environment-friendly venue. Please assist us by placing all unwanted rubbish and waste items in the disposal of our areas provided. Thank you.
I Giochi Paralimpici invernali di Milano Cortina 2026 desiderano offrire a tutti gli spettatori un ambiente pulito ed ecosostenibile. Aiutateci a mantenere
Lots to cheer about for Team Czechia. They spread the scoring around. 8 different players record at least a point. And best of all was Filip Vesely with 2 goals and 2 assists. A feisty effort by Edward Lapacek and Team Slovakia, but it wasn't enough. In the end, it's an 8-1 victory for Czechia over Slovakia.